Now, the last part we want to do is actually have certain padding on top and bottom of these particular articles, as well as create a separator between them. Okay, so let's do that. So this is called an article, right? So I'm going to come over here and create something called an article selector. So article over here, and we want a padding on top and bottom of, let's say, 30 pixels, and on the sides we do not want any padding. So save, refresh, and you see there's a padding over here, over here, over here as well, and so forth. So it looks a little bit better. The next thing we want is we actually want a separator, right? So we can actually create an HR element either, or we can actually create a we can create a border on the bottom. So we can come over here and say border bottom, and that should be 1 pixel and solid, and it should be gray in color. So like such. Save, refresh, and you see there is a beautiful separator over here. So this is a little bit more professional looking. Now, one thing that you will notice that this last selector, this last article, also has this separator, and it doesn't look nice. We don't want this separator at the bottom, only in between. So a trick for that is actually to use a pseudo selector. So let me show you. So just the way over here, actually, let's come to our code over here, and section is the element. Inside we have all these articles, right? So let's say there's a selector, actually a pseudo selector in CSS called last child. So over here I'm going to come in and I'm going to say article colon last dash child. And that pseudo selector says that if this particular article is the last child of its parent, all right, then apply whatever styles I'm going to write over here. So in that case, I'm simply going to say border bottom, and I'm going to simply make it 0 pixels, all right? And there's no need for solid and color. So I'm simply going to say that, save, refresh, and you see the last, since this one is the last article child, right? This particular selector gets applied there because it's the last child of its parent, and the border bottom is 0 pixels.